Hey guys, and welcome to another challenge video. In this video we set out to answer the age-old question that no one ever asked. Can you beat Pokemon Black using only a Stunfisk? Now the reason that I decided to do this video was because of my last challenge video. In my last video I played Pokemon Platinum, which is one of my favorite games, with Rioli, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. In this video I decided to do the opposite, play one of my least favorite games, Pokemon Black, with one of my least favorite Pokemon, Stunfisk. Link to my previous video will be in the description. Now without further ado, let's break down some rules. Now rule number 1 is really obvious. I can only use Stunfisk to do damage in battle. Rule number 2, I am not allowed to use any cheats, glitches or exploits. Rule number 3, I am allowed to use HM slates because Stunfisk cannot learn all the HMs. The fourth and final rule in this challenge is I will not be allowed to use any items in battle, including held items. Once again, this game starts off by asking about my gender. I choose male because I identify as a male. After that, the game wants to know my name. Is it just me or is that a little bit creepy? Honestly, I'll lie about my name and say my name is Pancake. Why Pancake, you ask? Well, Stunfisk reminds me of a pancake with a little bit of maple syrup on it. And I was super hungry while recording this playthrough. Finally, it's time to meet my two rivals for this playthrough. Unfortunately, I can't name them. Their names are Charon and Bianca by default. Pretty crap, I know. And with that out of the way, it's time to choose my starter. I know there's such a wide selection, but fortunately I know who I have to choose. And no, it's not Tepig, it's Stunfisk. Did you even read the title? And with that out of the way, it's time to battle Bianca. Now Bianca chooses Oswald. I keep hitting Oswald with Mud Slap, and he keeps hitting me with Tail Whip to lower my defenses. This part of the battle felt like it took forever because I tried to take it out with Bye, but it kept missing. Eventually Oswald knocks me down to 5 health and can take me out, but stops attacking for some reason. Because of Oswald's brilliant strategy of not attacking me for some reason, I eventually do take it out with Mud Slap. Next up is Charon. This battle is much easier because Charon has a Tepig and I can take it out in 3 shots with Mud Slap. Next I name my Stunfisk Flat Earth because I'm going to use him to flatten the Unova region, which will prove that the Flat Earth theory is true. I eventually arrive in Akilima, who gives a fuck, city. Then it's time to battle the most creative named rival in the entire game. N must stand for not very good because I crush him and win the battle. Shortly after defeating N, there is another battle with Bianca. I destroy her so badly she only does 4 damage to me. And at the trainer school there's another battle with Charon. Man, there's so many rival battles at the start of this game. Charon was a little bit harder than Bianca because I only beat him with 13 health remaining. Now it's time for the first gym battle. Now for the first gym battle I have to battle Chili because the game thinks I chose Snivy. First up, Chili sends out Leapart, which I take out with 2 Mud Slaps. And Pansear is weak to Mud Slaps, so it only takes 1 to take it out. And with that, we defeat the first gym leader, Chili. With the first gym defeated, we claim ourselves the Trio badge. Now this gym battle was super easy, but the next few won't be. Shortly after leaving the first gym, I have to battle Charon again. Start off this battle, I one-shot Tepig with Mud Slap. Next he sends out Purloin, which surprise surprise only takes 2 Mud Slaps to take out. And once again we take out Charon super easily. Soon after defeating Charon, we arrive in Nazarene City? How the fuck do you say these town names? I give up. After realizing all town names in this game are really dumb, it's time to battle the second gym leader. Firstly, Lenora sends out Herdio. Now Herdio does hit us with the Intimidate, dropping our attack stat, but fortunately we take him out with 2 Mud Slaps. Warthog starts off with Retaliate, knocking us down to 11 HP. Unfortunately, Warthog finishes us off with Bite. I guess it's time to grind. I grind all the way up to level 26 before I give this another shot. Fortunately, while grinding, Flat Earthline discharges makes this battle so much easier because we paralyze Warthog on the first try. And because Warthog is unable to move because it's paralyzed, we take it out with a second discharge. And with that we defeat the second gym leader, Lenora. And we claim the basic badge. While crossing Sky Arrow Bridge, it dawned on me that I haven't told you guys to like the video. So go do that right now. And if you're feeling super adventurous, don't forget to leave a comment on the video of an idea that I can use in my next video, because I can't think of any of my own ideas. And if you're as dumb as I am and can't come up with your own ideas, then leave a comment anyway because YouTube loves comments. After that brief intermission, we arrive in Castelia Town. And now it's time for the third gym battle against Berg. Now this battle goes really well up until I get to Leavanny. Now the problem with Leavanny is that it outspeeds me and its magical leaf does about 1/4 of my health. After attempting this battle countless times, it's time to grind again. Now I had to grind out to level 35, yes. Level 35. Now the reason I had to grind up to level 35 is because at level 35 Flat Earth learns Bounce. And honestly I wouldn't have beaten this gym without Bounce. But luckily with Bounce we do defeat Berg, the third gym leader. And with that battle out of the way we claim ourselves the third gym badge. And guess what, now it's time for another battle with Bianca. And to be perfectly honest, I'm so over leveled this battle is kind of a joke. I literally one-shot all of her Pokemon. This will be a running theme for a while because I'm so over leveled. In a random house on the next route I find the TM Fatigue. In Mombasa City I receive my bicycle from a random stranger. And it's time for another battle with N. Because this battle was super easy and I had nothing to commentate over it, I just thought I'd ask you guys a random question. What is N's name? If you guess any normal name, you're incorrect. His actual name is Natural Harmonia Groupus. Is it just me, or is this the stupidest name for any character in any game ever? Let me guys know if you agree in the comments. Next up is a battle with Elisa, the Electric Gym Leader. My first discharge knocks her Mogla down to red HP, and then she uses a Hyper Potion to heal it up. My next discharge knocks her down to red HP again, and then she switches out to her Zeb Striker. It only takes 2 mud shots to take out Zeb Striker, and then she sends out her second Mogla. I take this Mogla out with only 2 discharges, now back to her first Mogla. This Mogla is really low, so I take it out in 1 more discharge, ending the battle. To be honest, I didn't think I would have much trouble with this gym, and I was right, because it was a super easy gym battle. And with that out of the way, we have defeated the 4th gym leader and claimed ourselves a Bolt badge. And with another gym out of the way, it's time for another rival battle. I'm just joking, we're not going to watch another one of these shitty rival battles. I easily win. Let's have a little heart to heart here. I honestly do skip a lot of these battles in this run because there's so fucking many of them. With another mind-numbing encounter with Team Plasma in the ice storage, which I skip. Obviously. Time for the battle against the Earth gym leader, Clay. To be honest with you guys, I do regret over leveling at the 3rd gym because now these gym battles are super easy. Spoiler alert, I completely destroy this gym. After hitting Excadrill with 1 last mud shot, I defeat the 5th gym leader, Clay. And with the 5th gym down, we receive the Quake badge. And then we receive Fly from Bianca. And we receive Bulldoze from Clay outside Chargestone Cave. And guess what guys, it's time for another battle with N. And if you didn't guess, I easily beat him. Next up is the battle with Scylla, the 6th gym leader. First up, Scylla sends out her Swoobat. I easily one-shot it with Thunderbolt. Next up is the water flying type Swanna. Obviously I one-shot it because it's 4 times weak to Thunderbolt. Next up is Unpheasant. Unsurprisingly, I also one-shot Unpheasant with Thunderbolt. Another super easy gym battle. And with that we defeat the 6th gym leader, Scylla. And we are awarded the 6th gym badge, the Jet badge. Next we find some clay in a cave. Don't know why that's important. Next up is the 7th gym leader, Bryson. To start off, Bryson sends out his Vanillish. After Bryson wastes both his Hyper Potions, I take his Vanillish out with a Thunderbolt. Next he sends out Beartick, which I hit with Thunderbolt, taking it down to about half health. His Beartick confuses me, but it also raises my attack, so I take it out with a Bulldoze. Next up is Kyrogonal. Kyrogonal hits me with a critical Aurora Beam, knocking me down to 10 health. Luckily, because of my 2 attack boosts, I take it out with a Bounce. After defeating Bryson, we gain the Freeze badge. Shortly after that, we have our first encounter with the legendary Pokemon Zekrom. Unfortunately, we don't get to catch Zekrom and we're stuck with Reshiram, but that's not until later. On with the game. Shortly after that encounter, we arrive in Opelucid City. And you know what that means? It's time for the final gym battle. Start off, Drayden sends out his Fraxer. It only takes 2 Bulldozers to take out Fraxer. Next, Drayden sends out Druddigon. Again, Druddigon only takes 2 Bulldozers to take out. Lastly, Drayden sends out his pseudo-legendary Haxorus. After using Dragon Tail, Haxorus makes me switch out to my second Pokemon. After Panpour gets one shot, it's time to continue the battle. Luckily, my next Thunderbolt takes out Haxorus, winning me the battle. To be honest with you guys, this battle took me about 30 resets. I just had to get super lucky with Haxorus spamming Dragon Dance. And with that out of the way, we receive the Legend badge, which for some reason looks like an emu. We interrupt your scheduled programming. It's time for a meme break.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck, boy. I'm fast as fuck, boy.
After breezing through Victory Road because of my massive level, it's time for the Pokemon League. Firstly, I decide to battle Elite Four member Marshall. Firstly, he sends out Throw. After wasting one of his 4 restores, I take out Throw with a Thunderbolt. Next up, Marshall's Sort takes me out with the Retaliate. No matter how many times I reset this fight, I still lost. Time for some more grinding. To actually beat this fight, I had to grind all the way up to level 75. Fortunately, I take out Conkeldurr in 1 Thunderbolt. Next up is Mind Shower, which also only takes 1 Thunderbolt to take out. Even at level 75, he still barely beat this Elite Four member. Next up is the Psychic Elite Four member, Caitlyn. Firstly, Caitlyn sends out Reuniclus. My first Thunderbolt almost takes out Reuniclus, but she heals with a 4 restore. She does this again when I hit her with a second Thunderbolt. I follow that up with a Bounce and then a Thunderbolt. After taking out Reuniclus, it's time for the battle with Sigilyph. I use the term battle lightly. I take it out in 1 Thunderbolt. Next up, Caitlyn sends out Musharna. My first Thunderbolt takes Musharna down to a quarter health and paralyzes it. And my next one takes it out. Gothitelle takes 1 Thunderbolt and 1 Surf to take out, winning me the battle. And with that we have taken out 2 Elite Four members. Next up is the Dark type Elite Four member, Grimsley. To start off, Grimsley sends out Scrafty. Scrafty only takes 3 Thunderbolts to take out after wasting a full restore. Next up is Crocodile, my favourite Gen 5 Pokemon. He hits me with the Intimidate, so I have to use Surf to take it out. Next up is my second favourite Gen 5 Pokemon, Bisharp. Bisharp is a bit of a glass cannon, so it only takes 1 Thunderbolt to take out. Last up is Leopard, which also only takes 1 Thunderbolt to take out. And with that battle out of the way, we have defeated the 3rd Elite Four member, Grimsley. And now it's on to the final Elite Four member, Chantel. To start off, Chantel sent out Confugigus. It only takes 2 Thunderbolts to take out Confugigus. Next up is Golok, which I take out with 1 Surf. Next up is Jellicent, which of course goes down to 1 Thunderbolt. Last but certainly not least is Chandelure. Now Chandelure does burn me with Fire Blast, but I use Surf and take it out in 1 shot. And with that, we have defeated the final Elite Four member, Chantel. After journeying through N's castle, the game forces me to catch Reshiram. And now it's time for the final battle with N. After throwing like 20 Pokeballs at Zekrom, Reshiram finally faints. And that means it's time for the real battle to start. I take out Zekrom with 2 Bulldozers. I do the same to Vanillish. And next up is Caracosta. Caracosta takes me out in 2 Waterfalls. After resetting a few times, I get back up to Caracosta. I then also realize that Caracosta is a rock type and not a ground type, so I hit it with Thunderbolt and take it out in 1 shot. I'm a fucking idiot. Next up is Klinklang, literally the most unoriginal Pokemon ever, which I take out with 1 Bulldoze. Next up, N sends out Zoroark, which once again I one-shot with Thunderbolt. And lastly, N sends out his Archeops. Honestly, N wasn't that hard of a battle. I only had trouble with Kokosta because I completely forgot what type it was. And with that, we defeat the champion N. But unfortunately that's not the last battle. And now it's time for the hardest battle in this playthrough, the battle with Ghetsis. After once again throwing balls until Reshiram fainted, it's time for the real battle to begin. I start off by using Bounce, which paralyzes Confugigus, and then I use Thunderbolt, which takes it out. After about 30 tries, I decide that it's time for me to grind again, because the best I possibly could do was get to his Hydreigon, which takes me out in 1 shot every time. After grinding up to level 100, I try the battle again. I get through his Confugigus in 1 shot. Now it's time for his Buffalan. Take Buffalan out in 1 shot as well with Thunderbolt. Next up is Seismitoad. Seismitoad is another easy battle. I take it out in 1 bounce and 1 surf. Next up is my worst nightmare, Hydreigon. 2 of Hydreigon's surfs almost take me out, but luckily I take it out with 2 Thunderbolts before it can kill me. Hopefully this shows you why I had to grind up to level 100, because I barely beat him still. Unfortunately, Ghetsis still has 2 more Pokemon left. Next up is Electros. My first surf knocks Electros down to like 10 HP, and then it heals up with a full restore. It also knocks me down to 17 HP with a Fire Blast, and then I take it out with a second surf. Now Ghetsis' last Pokemon is a Bisharp. Like I said before, Bisharp is a glass cannon and we take it out with 1 Bulldoze. And with that finally done, we have defeated Ghetsis. After having a heartwarming conversation with N, which seemed to go on forever, N finally says goodbye, hopefully forever. And with that heartfelt sentiment out of the way, we're not done yet. There is still 1 more real boss to go. Yes, that's right. We still have to battle the real champion of the Unova region, Alder. Start off, champion Alder sends out Excelgor, which I take out with 1 bounce. Next up is Vanillish. After champion Alder heals his Vanillish with a full restore, I take it out with a critical hit Thunderbolt. Next, champion Alder sends out Buffalan, which again I hit a critical hit, taking it out in 1 shot with Thunderbolt. Escavalier was taken out with only 1 bounce. Now it's time for Volcarona. My first surf takes Volcarona down to below half health. Unfortunately, Volcarona uses overheat and takes me out. After resetting more times than I care to admit, I eventually make it up to Volcarona with full health. And because Volcarona is really dumb and just spams Quiver Dance, I'm able to take it out with 1 surf and 1 bounce. Last up, champion Alder sends out his Druddigon. His Druddigon does spam to Outrage, and I managed to take it out with 2 bounces and a Thunderbolt. Honestly, this battle was really close. And with the power of the Flat Earth Theory, we have defeated champion Alder and flattened the Unova region. I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, for everyone still watching, I just want to make it clear that I am not a Flat Earther, okay? It was all just jokes. Anyone in their right mind knows that the Earth is not flat. It's a cube. Thanks for watching.